Breaking news now on that push to declassify a number of documents related on the Russia matter. Federal investigators said to be already working to get these documents public and get under Republican lawmakers. Meanwhile, the president had this to say a bit earlier, telling The Hill, quote, "I have had many people ask me to release them. Not that I didn't like the idea, but I wanted to wait. I wanted to see where it was all going. I hope to be able to put this up as one of my crowning achievements, that I was able to expose something that is truly a cancer in our country." End quote. New York Republican Peter King's on the House Intel Committee. Sir, how you doing? And good morning to you. You've been on TV for months saying make them public. What do you think changed in his calculation now to do it?
I think the president has probably felt this has gone far enough as far as waiting for the FBI, the Justice Department, to release the FISA applications. I mean, I've read the applications. I've gone down to the Justice Department. And I think objective people looking at this, whether they support President Trump or not, will see that the FISA warrant, the FISA application, was not an honest one. It did not have the full disclosure that should have been there. It certainly did not in any way give any real idea of where the dossier was coming from. It did not talk about any of the unreliability of Christopher Steele. And as far as Carter Page, there's significant information they left out about him. I don't see how anybody could have considered, if they saw the whole record, would have considered Carter Page any kind of a Russian agent. The fact he had no dealings at all ever with candidate Trump, and also the fact that each of these applications is supposed to contain new information to get the application extended. And when they're all looked at, you'll see there was almost no new information. They were just recycling old information. So this is, the FISA court is unique. I mean, this is unprecedented power that's given to the Justice Department. And to use that power, to ask for that power from the court, you have to disclose everything you know. And instead, in this case, not anywhere near enough was disclosed to the court. The court really was treated badly, but the result of that is the abuse of power by the Justice Department against a presidential campaign unprecedented in American history.
Well, the court was set up to catch terrorists, overseas, who are trying to harm us here.
Yeah.
In addition to that, you have to wonder what the judges were all about. The president said this about that. He said, I don't think we have to go much further than to say that we've been misled. One of the things I'm disappointed in is that the judges in FISA do not seem to have done anything about it, end quote. What you're describing there is that once we get a chance to see this, does that make any of this conclusive?
I think, again, anyone looking at it objectively will see that there was no basis for the FISA warrant in the first place, and carrying that forward, there was no basis for the appointment of a special counsel because there was no evidence of any crime ever being committed. And that's the reality. Special counsels don't investigate crimes. The FISA court is to issue warrants involving a terror threat against the United States, and neither of those existed here. So really, from beginning to end, this has been based on false premises. And again, with the FISA court, and again, I don't know what all went on with the judges. It's a secret court. But I think there's always been a understanding, if you will, between the court and the Justice Department, because this is so sensitive, that the Justice Department will operate in good faith when they're dealing with the court. And so the court gives maybe the Justice Department more leeway than maybe it should. But again, I've followed these cases going back over the years, and I've found, in almost every case, under whether it's the Bush administration or the Obama administration, the Justice Department dealt honestly and openly with the, or at least honestly with the FISA court. It was not done in this case. So this really, I believe, is the exception to the rule. So maybe the judges, yeah.
It raises a lot of questions. Don't mean to interrupt. Just want to squeeze in one last question here about collusion or obstruction. Is any of that definitive based on the public release of these documents? I think that's what we're driving at here. How long before Intel officials, DOJ, can say this material can now be made public? Is that days away or weeks?
Some may try. And again, there may be some. I don't see anything at all in the FISA application that is going to damage national security. That's a phony argument put out there. Maybe in some of the other documents they're requesting, there could be a name or two that should be taken out. But on balance, the overwhelming majority of these documents should be made public. And in the FISA application, my recollection of having read them is that everything should be made public there. If there's a specific objection they're going to have, they should raise it. But if they're going to just try and delay this forever and slow walk it by claiming national security, then the Justice Department has to be brought up in that.
Do we see it before the election?
I would certainly hope so, because people will then see there was no collusion, there was no basis for this investigation or for the FISA warrant.
Peter King, thank you, sir. We'll speak again. West Babylon, New York today. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Bill.
20 past.